Welcome back everyone, and today will be an in-depth guide to all the weather status effects in Ark. The first status effect we're looking at is heat stroke. So, how do you get a heat stroke? You'll get a heat stroke by being on the map Scorched Earth, by being hot or overheated for too long. Now what does this effect do? This effect is quite unique in the fact that it comes in 3 different stages. First, as I like to call them, the good, the bad, and I wish I spec'd into fortitude stages. The first stage, being the good one, which is between 1% and 49% of the effect, your vision will start to blur over time. The second stage, the bad, which is between 50 and 79% of the status effect, you will lose the ability to sprint, your vision will be much worse, and your screen will start to sway. So it'll make it very hard for you to snipe people because your screen won't be sitting still. The third and final way, which was I wish I spec'd into fortitude, between 80% and 100%, your vision is worse, your screen will continually sway like crazy, and you'll lose health on top of all of that. Now, before we go into the counters, I'm going to quickly show you the effects in a quick time lapse, between all 3 stages so you can see what I mean to get a better idea, and then we'll go straight to counters. I'll see you in a second. Alright, so now let's talk about the counters. The first and best way to deal with heat stroke is going in a tent. By far, it gives you 500 insulation both ways, cold and hot. It is by far the best method to get rid of heat stroke. The next best way is probably iced water. Now this will only last a couple of minutes, but it's quite useful in the fact that when you drink it, it just helps out. So basically what you do, it's normal, like you drink it. So I've lost enough water. So there you go, I've got the the buff. And basically what that does is if I was in a hot section, so the little small flame, and that activated, there goes the small flame, and then heat stroke will disappear because heat stroke needs to either have hot or burning effect to stay around. Then you can either get into in a house. Best of course is being Adobe, given that it gives you the most protection, and every other structure is like a ginormous, like just burn you alive house. As well as that, you can go to areas that aren't hot, so going in the water where the obelisks are, or just general cool areas where you won't get the hot or burning effect will be a good thing. In terms of armor, ghillie and desert clothes are the best protection. And then finally, the other way to defeat it is with fortitude. Yes, so the higher your fortitude, then the less likely you're going to get hot or the burning effect, which will then in turn make sure that you don't get heat stroke. With that all being said, I'm going to now head over to superheat, so let's get straight into that. Alright, so now we're going to be looking at the superheat status effect. This status effect occurs on Scorched Earth map during a heat wave. Now this will activate your burning status effect, which will make you lose health and water really fast, as well as activate the heat stroke effect. Now the main way in which to counter a heat wave or superheat events is to go underground, and those have been the 3 cave locations, so where the artifacts are, their coordinates are on the screen right now, so make sure you go there if you're nearby. Otherwise, next best bet is in an Adobe house. That will provide you with the next best protection, or if you're out and about, you want to get into a tent. Now, you can also use iced water. That will give you an insulation of 84. However, it's not really the best considering it only has an expiry of like 2 minutes. So yeah, and then your final best bet is fortitude. The higher the fortitude, the less likely you're going to get a certain status effect. So I think burning's at 38 degrees. So if you get enough fortitude, to counter that, then this heat wave is going to be nothing to you. But that all being said, I'm going to check back with you guys when we check on sandstorms. See you in a sec. Alright, so the next status effect we're looking at is sandstorm. Now this effect occurs on Rag or Scorched Earth, and what this will do will limit your visibility as well as prevent you and your creature from sprinting, and it will also drain your stamina slowly as well as adding sand to your inventory. Now to counter this, you can be in any house, it doesn't matter if it's wood or adobe, but if you're out and about and you can't get into one of them, use a tent. That is your next best protection. And then in terms of dealing with the visibility, what you want to do is get these desert goggles. So as you can see, I can barely see, but putting on these goggles, I can have a much better visibility. It's not perfect, but it's much better at least, so it's going to help you out a lot. Now with that all being said, guys, let's move on straight to windstorms. Alright, so now we're on to the next status effect, and that is windstorm. So this will occur on the map Ragnarok, and this will happen when you are outside of the desert region, while the desert region is having a sandstorm. So when the desert region is having their sandstorm, everywhere else on the map will get this wind effect, as you can see here, this windstorm. And from what I've seen, it has no effect whatsoever on you. I mean, apart from these wind turbines, it seems to help them a lot. But in terms of status effect wise, it does not affect you. But if you are still somewhat worried, you can literally still use a tent or go inside a house, and then you're protected from the effect. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to see you guys on the final status effect, and that is sunlight. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so on to the final status effect, and that is sunlight. And now this status effect will occur during the daytime on the surface in aberration. So this effect will basically kill you instantly, as well as... yeah, it just basically kills you. So as you can see, my Rex is dead, and you can't really see it because the kill barrier is in front of me. But that tech base is actually slowly decaying, very, very slowly, because the sun is burning it alive. I'm actually going to walk into the fire just to show you why you don't want to go in here. So I'm going to quickly turn off creative so I can actually die. And goodbye. So that is literally it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this guide to all the weather status effects on Ark Survival Evolved. There will be more coming about all the other status effects, so I hope this was, informative and taught you quite a lot about them, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye.